What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video of monthly check-ins with the two fellow yellows. My name is Ben. This is George.
Yes, that's my name.
And we do this monthly check-in to keep ourselves accountable to each other's goals. So, how was your month, bro?
It was great, man. How was yours?
That was good, bro.
Okay, that's the end of the video.
Okay, I got a question here, bro.
Okay, straight to the question.
Yeah,
nice.
bro.
That's the best way to really get into it, because when we ask each other.
What's something What's something you're grateful that happened last month, bro? Let's start off positive.
You mean this month? I'm grateful that I was able to reach my goal of doing 4 rental deals within the month. I actually did 5, and the 5th one came unexpectedly.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was all the way out in Elton, which you probably don't know where that is. Okay, so you got Hartford County, right? Do you know geography like that?
No.
Like
you should know this. I didn't know that Arkansas existed.
Okay. Oh, you said it right. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, that's because I learned my lesson.
Yeah. But it's basically like an hour out from where I live. But I did 5 rental deals this month, and the reason I set a goal for 4 was because I did 2 the previous month. So I was trying to double the amount, and I surpassed that, which I'm very grateful about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? What are you most grateful for?
Honestly, I'm most grateful for the engagement and the comments and the feedback for each video. Which honestly, I didn't even think about I didn't consider what happened when I upload videos, and then when I started happening and more people commented, I was like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah. Was it overwhelming, but in a good way?
It was I wouldn't say overwhelmed, maybe a little bit, but I think it was just really
surreal.
Surreal.
Oh, okay.
Exciting. I'm just grateful for it.
Yeah. And I mean, you're starting to get more views than you ever have.
Yeah.
But still, the amount of views you get in comparison, typically when you see people getting that many views, you don't see that much engagement in the videos. But you have a lot of people, communicating with one another in the comments section. So that's something that sets you apart from a lot of YouTubers who are at the stage that you're in.
Yeah, that's something I want to encourage and lean into more.
Yeah, you're starting to develop what others can't at this time, and that's a community.
Yeah.
Kind of like a brand, so to say.
Yeah.
So they don't know you as the Cardano YouTuber, they know you as Ben the Cardano YouTuber.
Yeah, I'm actually considering changing my name to Ben J Invest, just to have that brand in place, and then because I'm thinking of since I've been posting consistently on the social medias, I've noticed okay, I've done the content, I've put out the content, I just gotta stay back a little bit and analyze what's working, what isn't working, and I think that I'm gonna make my Instagram just a personal Instagram. Anything personal that's going on, or the fish, I post them a lot.
Yeah. And what are you planning to make a separate Instagram account?
No, honestly, for my community on YouTube, most of us is on Twitter. Most of us is on
are you on
YouTube? That's something I gotta take advantage of more.
Yeah, because I would imagine Twitter. Yeah, that's definitely a good place for the investing side of things, because I know a lot of people communicate through that platform. But yeah, especially Reddit as well.
Yeah, specifically Cardano.
Yeah,
they have their own subreddit. So,
and if you started your own, that'd be another great way to engage with your audience.
Yeah,
have them go on there.
That's something I want to lean into more next month.
Okay, so that's one of the things that you have planned for next month.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, but I wanted to go into the success that you've had on YouTube this past month. I mean, your channel, I would say so, because you hear a lot of YouTubers say that your first 1,000 subscribers is one of the hardest parts in growing your channel.
Yeah.
Because when you're starting off with no subscribers and nobody knows you, you're not credible at face value. Because a lot of people just look at the sub count and they instantly turn away. But what I wanted to ask you is, what was the hardest thing for you in building up your channel to where it is now, at almost being at 1,000 subscribers?
Well, hardest thing would probably be like, I didn't have to do this, but I'm glad I did, because I don't think I'd be here right now if I didn't. Uploading daily for like, I didn't do it the first week, but for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, that really like placed it, solidified it, that's the word, solidified the fact like, hey, I'm serious about this, I'm gonna be in front of the camera more, and I'm creating a system out of it. And I'm grateful that I did that, and it's definitely was I almost felt like I don't want to say this in a negative connotation, but I almost felt like a robot sometimes. But
I can imagine, yeah. It takes a lot to... Yeah. First of all, you have to do research in order to create the video. Then you have to create the script, which I don't know how much time you put into creating a script, because I know you do a lot of things. You do the videos a lot without the script, so you can get it out within a day. Yeah, then you gotta record it and then edit the video, post it. So there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to creating a video.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I see you've been posting on YouTube too, right?
Just once a week, yeah. But that's helped me understand the amount of effort that it takes. Because I would say cumulatively, it takes me about maybe 5 or 7 hours for the videos that I make, which aren't at anywhere near the level that yours are. So, I mean, I'm sure over time, like that, the amount of time that'll take will go down, just like it has for you. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I've noticed from you that in the beginning, you were focused on perfecting the videos that you put out, and as a result, you were coming out with less videos, and those videos aren't as
they weren't even great.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that I heard in a podcast that I was listening to, that perfection is created through consistency. And there's also like this thing that I heard where a study was done where 2 groups in a photography class, one was asked to submit 1 picture
for the entire semester, right?
You've heard about that before, right? And the other group was asked to submit as many, right? So through like them consistently taking photos, they're able to take the perfect one. So what I'm getting at is that through you creating that system of posting every single day, you've been able to fine tune, the parts, like certain parts of your videos that you weren't able to do so when you spent more time trying to make the perfect one.
Yeah, bro, absolutely. Quantity is quality in many cases.
Yeah.
In the beginning, especially of YouTube. And
right.
And
YouTube, there's always a different opinion on that. Like you hear people saying quality over quantity, but it's really the way you look at it.
I think I'm starting to like realize when you're in the beginning stages, like you in real estate, like me in YouTube, I don't think we have a right to be perfectionists, because we don't have that skill. Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. You're right. Is that in the beginning, when you're starting off in any career, you don't know what it takes in order to perfect your craft. It's through really trial and error. And in order to experience trial and error, you have to do and be consistent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you are always passive in the things that you do and wait for the right moment to act, then you're going to either not get anywhere, or you'll get there much longer than what it would have been if you just consistently do.
And you too, man, with your showings, the amount of showings that you do. Like I always see in your stories and your social media posts.
Yeah, thank you, man. I just try to, even if it's not interesting at all, like at a certain point, another showing, like a lot of the showings are the same from one another, but I still just try to get 1 post out a day. Because I've started to see the benefit of being active on social media, because people have started reaching out to me rather than me reaching out to them. Yeah. And I think a lot of people find it interesting when you show them the behind the scenes. Like the process of building anything, whether it's a Lego set or a business, it doesn't matter. People find it interesting to see the before and after, as well as the process that it took to get from point A to point B.
Yeah. What's something that you are looking forward to next month?
To set up a system to where I'm more comfortable with prospecting. And what I mean by prospecting is reaching out to people who I don't know at all.
Yeah.
And asking for business, basically.
Yeah.
Like, in the beginning, I didn't really fear doing that, but I don't know, it's just like, now that it's getting closer and closer to when I told myself that I would begin prospecting, I'm starting to get nervous. But I know, like, every single thing that I've done in real estate, like my first showing, like, nervous. I was completely nervous, man. And I over-prepared for it, but then over time I realized how relaxed a showing really is. So I know that if I just do it, and I know it won't be after the first time, but through repetition I'll eventually develop confidence in doing so. I just have to bite the bullet and actually do it, man, you know?
Yeah, bro, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Inspiring stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and then another thing I'm excited about for next month is creating things. The thing that I love most, one of the things I love most about real estate is being able to develop something. So whether that's a blog, a video, my website, I just like the idea of having control over how I develop my business.
Yeah,
you know, because I have complete control of what I do. Yeah, and I don't know. It's just the most exciting thing about it is that the process of building it and then seeing the results. That's what's the coolest to me.
Something we're learning together. Like we're both building up our brand and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the prospecting, that's not something you can do in the morning, right? Most people can be asleep.
No. I think I plan on doing it in the morning.
Oh, really?
I've heard that like between 8 to 10 a.m. Then 4 to 6 are the best times to prospect. But I mean, all it is really finding like the leads and then calling them and getting my name out.
So maybe that's something you can work on your sleep habit with.
Right.
As a part of your first thing you do in the morning.
Yeah. Right when I wake up. You know, get the hardest part. That's what I like about doing it in the morning is getting the hardest part of the day over with.
Yeah.
So.
Because I know you said you read first thing, and then...
I tried to.
Yeah.
If I can't get to that, then I find some time to read during the day. And that's one of the things I've been good at is reading every day for the past, like, couple of months. There's been some days where I just didn't have the time, so I make up for it and read the amount of pages I was supposed to the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, props to you for that. I just got into reading like this month, the beginning of this month. I finally finished that book.
Okay, good.
Took 34 days.
I think what you said in one of your stories about reading a book a month is probably the right way to go. Because I like your whole idea with having a minimum amount and a maximum amount, so that you're putting, you're putting, like you're highlighting the importance of actually showing up. Yeah.
And as well as having a goal for that by the end of the month I will finish this book, because I found that I was just being way too lax about it. Which at least I showed up, you know.
Yeah, and just to develop the habit at least.
And then a book a month isn't scary at all, you know.
Yeah, as long as like you divide like you're reading the same amount of pages every day.
Or minimum and maximum.
Oh well, yeah. But then if you're reading like the minimum amount more times throughout the month, then
eventually it'll be like almost procrastinating.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have more pages to read at the end of the month, putting more of like a workload on yourself.
Yeah, I kind of have faith though this month that I'll be enjoying,
especially after reading the book about Christianity.
Yeah, This is an easy read. It's about saints. And it's made for
really?
8th graders, so... yeah, I'm like...
Oh, so that's the book you're gonna be reading for this month?
I think that... No, I ordered a book on Amazon.
Okay.
And then I'll be reading this book in between that. Brilliance.
Oh, nice. I thought that was a president in the middle. It kind of looks like Ulysses L. Grant. I think that's his name. I probably butchered it really badly. His last name is Grant. Yeah, I do.
Nah.
No, so what would have been some of your greatest achievements for this month? Obviously, getting close to 1,000 subscribers. That's huge.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Definitely uploading daily. That was pretty difficult. Building my system out so that it wasn't taking up an entire day to upload daily. And also just being like somehow I was able to just step back when needed to like analyze, because I almost completely forgot to, and so I'm grateful to God for that.
Analyze what?
Analyze like the data, because when I first started in April, I had no data to work with, and I was reading that book, The YouTube Formula, where a lot of it, the action exercises are look at your old videos or like read the data that you have, and I didn't have any data, so I was getting extremely like stressed out about not having it. But I'm grateful that I was able to upload daily, which gave me a lot of data to work with about knowing my audience, knowing what kind of content that's something I'm excited for, like my content strategy to make better videos for them.
Do you plan on sticking with Cardano related videos?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like
that's like the only kind of video that you're coming out with?
Okay. It's like the more you learn about it, the more there is to learn, dude.
Really? So it's that vast?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It's like it's a project that they've been developing since 2015, and it's almost like Tesla channels, how they're always, except those are more news related and updates. Right. I want to be like the channel people go to where they get informed and not spammed with like a bunch of news and updates, which they can just have. Like I could have a newsletter. That's something I'm excited to have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same here.
A newsletter.
I'm trying to develop.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing, is having more interaction outside of your channel.
Yeah.
So that people have a reason to come back. You know, so like through you setting up a subreddit or Discord and like what you're doing through Twitter.
Yeah. I think it's really about like the way, and you're really good at this, the way that you engage with a small number that you have. Like you were able to get a handful of people who really appreciated the way you were, like, had them as a customer and like built a relationship with them. And that's something that I need to work better on, is just not get so caught up in like I need a big amount of numbers, but really focus on each view as like a person.
Yeah.
How can I make a video for this person? What kind of Discord, or I don't really like Discord, but what kind of
neither do I.
what kind of group could I create to bring that type of person in?
Right.
Community wise. Yeah, and like really focusing on that instead of, because you probably heard of this book, the 1,000 True Fans.
Never have.
No, never have.
No.
Okay, it's focused on like if you have 1,000 true fans, rather than focusing on like 100,000 or 1 million, like everybody wants to be flamboyant about. If you're able to just really have 1,000 true fans that really love you and the content that you put out, or whatever it is that you do, then you'll definitely be able to make a living out of that. And and that's something I want to really hone in on.
Because it all comes down to loyalty. Loyalty goes a long way.
Loyalty.
What is that too?
That's from Kendrick. Yeah, that's from Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay, Lamar Jackson. No, I'm just playing. I know who Kendrick.
Okay, bro, I was about to say.
Humble. Stay humble.
Yeah, you sound like a dad. You sound like a dad. It's trying to be him.
Stay humble, you know? Oh, I hope I didn't turn off the microphone. Okay.
Yeah, let's make sure we're
strapped. Yeah, we still strapped up in here.
Okay. Let me make sure.
Please tell me to turn on the audio. Okay,
gotcha. We have like two backups, so.
Do we? Is the audio any good on that though?
Yeah, I just gotta edit. Like that one, I'm able to edit. This one is kind of just raw. I would have to.
Oh, it's fucking raw. Okay.
Let me ask you another question.
Oh, you got more. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, what's something that you wish you did differently last month?
Oh man, that's a good question. Something I had to think about.
Okay.
Something that I wish I did differently last month or this month.
I can answer.
Well, yeah, you let me know what your answer is, and then maybe I'll think of something. I
definitely know what you mean when you were talking about how easy it is to stay away from your habits and like not be consistent in certain things. So my focus was definitely on the quantity that I put out, which is good, and I was able to learn more because of that. So maybe what I'd do differently would be less. We talked about it, focusing on less but intensely.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're kind of spreading out your time.
Yeah,
with
I was.
Other obligations.
Yeah, I was spreading myself not too thin, not crazy thin, but definitely would not have. I would have made sure that YouTube was my priority. I would post on the side, regardless of anything, because I think I was focusing too much on like the quantity of content that I put out, and not just YouTube. It was all the social media that I had. So yeah, that's something I would have done differently.
Okay. I thought of the thing that I would have wanted to do differently from last month, and that has to do with me not worrying so much. Like I'm always thinking the worst outcome of things. Just feeling really anxious, or whenever something would go wrong, I would second guess myself and ask myself, like, is this really something that's meant for me? But as I was telling you earlier, what's kept me motivated and what I've done to remind myself of my why was that, like, the way I view things now is that life is like a race. And I've heard this mentioned to me before.
Okay.
But, when cars are racing around, life isn't like a race. The best way to explain it is that we have no way of knowing when we're going to be reaching the end of the finish line. There's no sign or signal that really lets us know that we're almost there. That if we just keep going, then we'll be able to achieve what we've been seeing after,
Yeah.
So what I remind myself is that what I'm going through now, it's all a part of the process, and it's what's going to ultimately get me to the end of the finish line. And I remind myself as well that I've invested too much time, money, and energy at this point to quit now.
Yeah.
And once I do that, once I get out of that mini rut that I'm in, I'm back into the mindset that I want to be, So it's through what we preached before, the action and doing.
Yeah.
It totally cancels out all of the negative thoughts that I have, the doubt that I face whenever I deal with, something that doesn't go the right way.
Yeah, man. That's something I think we should emphasize, the feeling of doubt and the feeling that you will never, the feeling that you're not ready. It's not gonna go away. Especially when you're doing things that you've never done before, which you will have to do. The feeling of uncertainty is just, you have to learn to face it. Which, as humans, we've evolved to be safe and stay away from danger as much as possible. But in this world, what is it? Fortune favors the bold. So
I've never heard of that, but
yeah, bro.
I don't know what that's
I'm a poet on the
mean.
side. The bold, like fortune. Many people call the successful lucky, but the more you take action and the more you stir up the pot with what you go after, the more lucky you will be. Technically, like the more bold you are in taking risks, taking opportunities, learning new things, doing things you've never done before, but you'll get lucky more and more, you know?
Right. I mean, regardless of who you are, someone is going to view your success as a stroke of luck.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever understand like what truly goes on behind the scenes in order to get to where you are, and that's really the disconnect between society, is that luck luck can only take you so far.
Yeah.
Eventually, someone who's lucky, when life punks them, then that's it for them. They're not going to be able to get back from that.
Yeah.
But someone who's able to put in hard work, and regardless of the outcome of the work that they're putting in, they keep putting in the same amount of effort every single day.
Yeah.
They fail one day, they continue on the next day, and they succeed one day, they still put in the same amount of effort. It's never different.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
A lot of people get caught up in the success that they have and become comfortable, and then a lot of people crumble after they face the slightest bit of failure, and that's kind of been me for most of my life. I would always turn around from something the second I would even be close to like facing failure. Like I told you before, failure used to be a huge fear of mine, and it still is. But my way of dealing with failure now is going at it head on and being okay with experiencing failure. Because the only way I can truly fail at this point is if I stop trying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I say to myself, is that, listen, yes, it can be viewed as a failure, what I'm experiencing right now, but the only way I can, ultimately fail is if I just throw in the towel and, call it a day.
Yeah. And I'm going to come in from a Christian perspective here, too. Yeah. A part of it that has really helped me with either not being as worried or the worry is way less. A part of it is just giving myself up and understanding, okay, the result is in God's hands. I'm gonna do what I can control, what I can do, and not worry about the result and what'll happen.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, it's what God has planned for me. That's what I believe, and ultimately, it's what He has planned for me, and I'm gonna put in the work to live up to that, and we can't connect the dots forward, we can only connect them backwards.
I like that one.
Yo, I'm hitting.
I heard that in a motivational video.
Really?
But yeah.
I think it's from either Steve Jobs or somebody else.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I like the way you put it in how you can be doing the right things, but the right outcome won't always happen. It's really in whatever you believe in. It's in their hands, And a lot of people think that if they do this, then that'll happen. Yeah. But life isn't clear cut like that. You could be doing all the right things, and then all the wrong things just happen to you.
Yeah.
And I think if we go back and look at certain choices that we made in the past and see where that has gotten us, that we can understand that the things that we're doing in the present will ultimately shape our future, So I look back at all of the unfortunate circumstances that I've been in my life, and I think to myself that I would never be where I'm at today if I didn't experience that, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, we had to go through the suck in order to experience a little stroke of luck.
Okay.
Pause, bro.
You gotta go through
what? We gotta go through the suck
Okay,
in order
bro.
to experience a little luck, you know. Yeah.
In order to experience a little stroke.
a little stroke of luck.
Okay, bro. Did you ask your third question? Because that was all my questions.
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, what keeps you motivated through all the doubt that you experience, all of the roadblocks that you hit. What keeps you motivated, or what do you do to just keep going?
My family, yeah. My family.
Okay.
And that's something that also connects to, like, one of the questions I asked you, is that what I would do differently. I would be able to separate work from real life experiences, like being with family, and I barely hang out with any friends. So, I mean, maybe that too.
Damn.
But
yeah, that's the same for me, actually. I was gonna say that, but I don't know. I do feel selfish by spending so much time working nonstop.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like I'm gonna regret it later on, you know, not being able to spend the time that I have now with my family and later. But I keep thinking to myself that, like, if I don't put in the work now, then, you know, how far back will this be setting me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a part of it is
sacrifice.
That, but I don't know, on contrary to, like you have to work 100,000,000% work ethic.
Damn, 100 million. I heard of like 110%.
Well, yeah, on contrary to that, I think yes, and also understand, like I said, it's up to God, in my opinion, and really understanding, like, what matters is also experiences. You do have to make sacrifices, and I'm learning to, like, differentiate what I'm sacrificing, but also be there when it matters. Be there. Like, don't forget who you're doing it for. It's something that I'm talking to myself too. Because I'm doing this for my family, because I understand the sacrifices they took to get me here, just born in the U.S., you know. They took massive steps as immigrants, and don't forget that. And yeah, that's what keeps me motivated. Just be willing to take the sacrifices, and also be with them when it matters.
Yeah, I think that's what's most important, is, you know, not missing out on those moments.
Yeah.
Because some of that is controllable, you know, and sometimes we just decide to place work in front of our family when, you know, it's not gonna break the bank or hinder you from succeeding if you just spend that one day with them. You know? Yeah, because what's the whole point of spending all this time working, you know, for your family when, you know, I mean, anything can happen in life, so you gotta be spending all the time you can.
Yeah, and it's something that helps me, really, is not working on Sundays, or at least making it a priority to be with family on Sunday.
On those days.
Yeah. And spending time for God, which it's interesting because I never took it seriously, but, like, as I grow up, like, as I experience more things, it's like, okay, I can really resonate with this Christian teaching, and, like, stuff like that, which is why I'm inspired by you, like, starting prayer, you know, like, I'm excited for you, man.
Yeah, you're the one who inspired me to start it.
Yeah.
And I haven't been the best at doing it, but through small steps, like, hopefully I'll be able to get to a point where I want to be.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
It was just gonna be like, how has your mindset changed in this month? Which I think you mentioned it. You're more family oriented.
Yeah, family oriented now. Focusing on less intensely. Really trying to stay true to that. What about you, man?
How's my mindset changed?
Even if it hasn't been just this month, but like since maybe 2 months or 3 months ago.
I think just being less worried. In the beginning of the month, like every single time something, like, that doesn't go the right way, I get so caught up in it. And I've always been like this my whole life. Like, I would always overthink every single thing. Like, for example, when I did a showing and we were testing, like, the stove, and then on my drive home, like, I was overthinking and was like, did I turn off the stove? Like, just like things like that, and it just like rocks my whole day. And I don't want to have so many of those negative thoughts flooding my head, because then that messes up my whole workflow and how efficient I am throughout the day. So I think this month is the month of like where we experienced the most momentum so far in our careers.
I mean, okay, we both experienced like crazy
exponential growth. Yeah.
So what would be the positive we would take out of that? Like, stick to something, some type of foundation that we can stick to when things get tough. Like,
I think it has something to do about not getting too caught up on the highs and too caught up on the lows. Putting in the same amount of effort that you always would, regardless of where you're at.
Okay.
If you're able to put in 100% effort, but when you're having a bad day, put in 100% effort. And when you're having a successful day, don't become comfortable with your success. Because then eventually your pipeline will like dry up. And then you'll be left with nothing. Pipeline.
Oh, okay.
What a pipeline is?
I mean, what would the pipeline be?
It's like a metaphor for, like, for you to be getting subs every day, consistent amount of subs and views.
Yeah.
So, if you get like 10,000 views on a video and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually something that happened in the middle of the month. Like, it's not like I wasn't growing, but the growth slowed down. It was like a spike in the middle of the month, and I was like, damn.
a lot of people would lose motivation through that. Like when they see the views starting to go down after experiencing that rush of getting all those views and whatnot, they put in less effort. But I mean, you've been able to stay consistent every single day, posting a video even though things would start to slow down. I mean, YouTube and real estate are basically like not the same thing, but like growth wise, it's never gonna be linear. It's always there's gonna be ups and downs. Some ups will be really high, then some downs will be really low.
Yeah, man. So what did you say? Don't get too caught up in the highs and don't get too caught up in the lows.
I think that's what Drake said before. He said, I try not to get too caught up in the highs or the lows. Something like that.
He always has bars.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a ghostwriter, but
Probably,
yeah. Yeah, appreciate y'all for watching, because I know like all of you have watched it up to this point. Absolutely.
Maybe in the future. It'll be us watching.
Hey.
The 1 year anniversary of this show's coming up.
Yeah, bro. I think we should do something for that.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
We're planning to like react to it, right?
Oh yeah, that. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Deuces.